Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm all right.
All
Gonna tell you, I'm sore.
Yeah.
In ways, you know, when you do like an activity you ain't done in a while, and you're like, oh yeah, those muscles, yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been there. Yeah, I'm probably in the same situation right now. So yeah.
Yeah. So I had a good time. I had a great weekend because, like I mentioned last week.
Oh, that's right. Snowboarding.
We were going to go, and we might do the snowboarding thing. We might not. Basically, it was just going to be a weekend away at the cabin. It was going to be a fun time. My wife and I and two other couples. And it was a great time. I'll tell you what. It was pretty cool. So we did do the snowboarding thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's few times where my wife has been really optimistic, like just super joyful, like no matter how bad something gets, she's just super optimistic. No matter how bad it is, everything's going great. This was one of those times. And I'm going to tell you, I tried to be the Grinch hard. Jeff, have you ever snowboarded?
Yes.
Okay.
No. I wouldn't really call it snowboarding, but I call it falling. So
I didn't even get to that.
Yeah.
This is how bad. First of all, okay, you go there, super optimistic. All right, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna fall, crash. You only really crash if you get going enough to crash. If you're not, then you're just standing up and falling down. That's not even crashing. That's just like my 11-month-old son was doing better than me, right? Anyway, so we go. We get all the boots, the boards. All right. Here's the messed up part. Not all snowboarding lifts or ski lifts are the same. Okay. No. So we're going up. Now, there's 6 of us. None of us have any idea what they're doing. Even my wife, who's done it before, she's like, it's been years. I'm gonna suck for a little bit. I gotta figure this thing. I gotta get my bearings, right? And then eventually she was really good. Okay. But this lift was so strange. This lift, it was like a bungee cord that just kind of went over your head, right? It was constantly in a conveyor belt loop. But what would hang down would be this like T-shaped thing that it would carry you up. So I'm like, oh, I see it. Obviously, I grabbed the handles. Now, I told people when I got the board, I was like, okay, I need to have goofy foot so that I can have my right foot in front. First of all, everybody lies to you. And they're like, oh, yeah, they're interchangeable. You can put your left foot in front, you can put your right foot in front. They're all the same. And I'm like, are you certain? Like, absolutely, I said. Have you ever had anybody here who rides with their right foot in front, goofy foot? They said, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, then how do you know? They're like, oh, we just know. So obviously they lied. Didn't work that way. So I had to figure it out. Left side forward, like left side fighters. It's wrong, whatever. All right. So all right, whatever, I'm going. So I grabbed the thing. Sure enough, 3.5 feet, pow, fall on my face.
Oh, right? God.
Because I'm not even holding it the way I'm supposed to, right? So this lady comes by, she goes, literally this, like, I would say she's probably 19. She's like, wow, you're really bad. Right? She has to stop the whole thing. Yeah. There's a line of people waiting, like, you're really bad at this. Like, yes, I understand that. Stop being a jerk. So she helps me up. Now, she's not even helping me do this the right way. So I grab onto it, and it starts to pull me up. So I get about 1/3 of the way up, and I fall again. But this time I'm not letting go. I'm like, screw it. Drag me up the hill. And I'm literally on my chest and my face. I'm like, I'm not letting go of this thing. I'm holding it. Like, have you ever been wakeboarding and you're skiing and water skiing and you just don't let go?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. So I'm just holding it, and I'm literally like, feel my pants start to fall down. I'm like, whatever. I'm not letting go. She has mercy on me. She stops the machine again.
Oh my God.
Walks 2/3 of the way up the hill and just says, you got to get out of the way. You just got to you're really bad. This is the most interesting day of work I've ever had. You guys are all so bad at this. I'm not kidding. This is how it starts.
Oh
this is
my
how
God.
It's starting. Nobody's even done a thing yet. I'm not even really in the board. And I'm like, hey, stop being a jerk. And she's like, whatever, just get out of the way. So I'm like, now my wife is just like, you can do it, babe. You're doing great. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Right.
Yeah.
So I try to get on the board and I'm falling. I'm literally sitting in the middle of the hill, like 14-year-olds whizzing past me, almost killing me. So I'm so frustrated. I'm so incredibly frustrated. I sit on the board and just ride it down like a sled the way down the hill. That's how mad I was.
Oh
so I'm recruiting people to quit with me. I'm like, let's just screw this. Let's just leave. Let's just leave. This whole thing is horrible. Are you having fun? You're clearly not having fun. Yeah. I'm not having fun. Look at half of us can just be done. They do their thing. We'll do our thing. Let's quit. They're like,
go to the lodge.
Nobody wanted to do it. I'm like, hey, they got snow tubing, which, by the way, more people got injured snow tubing than skiing or snowboarding. Really? Wildest thing ever. Oh, yeah. It's because one little girl got carried away in a stretcher.
Holy crap.
No joke. Couldn't believe it.
That stuff's fun, but yeah, I know how they set those things up.
Because there's nothing to protect yourself. It's just like, here you are,
ice.
Crash.
Yeah.
Finally, my wife's like, hey, let's take the snow tube lift up where you just stand and we'll walk around. Okay, thanks, babe. You got it figured out. So we go over there, we get figured out, and literally everybody on the snow tube lift is watching us, laughing at us. So after about 2 hours of this stuff, right, I start to figure it out. Now I can get down the hill. And then I start doing it a few more times. Now I'm going down without falling. People are literally cheering, saying, hey, you don't suck so bad.
Right.
Word for word what they were saying. And they're like, yeah, shut the heck up. All right. So we decide we're going to go snow tubing. This was horrible, man. I got to tell you, kid you freaking not. So when I said a girl got carried away in a stretcher, that was a real thing. Okay. That really happened. I felt so bad. So my wife, I, and one of our coworkers, Josh, right? He's a little bit bigger than me. I'd say he's like, I don't know. He's probably my size. Okay. So we link all our tubes up because he's like, oh yeah, we'll get going faster. We'll get a little air as we come down. Okay. That sounds fun. Okay.
No, that never worked.
So then you start to get kind of twisted and turned. Now here's the cool part. At the end of it, there's a long straightaway to kind of slow you down. Except with all of us, we're picking up speed. Yeah. But they have like a padded backstop. Yeah, I hit that going like 20 miles an hour. Right? So I destroyed that thing. I end up on top of it. Right? Josh gets thrown from his tube. My wife is underneath me somehow. Man,
bro.
It was
what a weekend.
Wild. It was a week, but it was fun. I'll tell you this I wanted to quit hard. Yeah. And I figured out, so when I figured out after a couple hours of it, and I figured out how to do it, I realized I have very little tolerance for people who don't know how to teach anybody what to do.
Right.
Because I got a student's mind also like, listen, if you tell me what to do, I'm going to do that. Just tell me what it is. Oh, just lean back on your heels the whole time. Sure, I'll do that. That was shitty advice. Yeah. Right? Hey, don't worry. You can put your left foot in front or your right foot in front. That's a straight up lie. Yeah. Right? Just so now I got to look at people and go, you don't know what the hell you're talking about when I don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Right.
So, oh my goodness.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a fun time. But yeah.
Other than all that, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. So I know that there's other there's other point fighters that are really good at this. Like I know Jack Felton's good at it. I've seen some I've seen some videos of him. Like that dude.
Jack Felton's good. Ryan Gonzalez is good. A lot of those
I should have messaged him and be like, hey, tell me this stuff that everybody's gonna lie to me about. Because that would have been much more helpful. If he could have gave me a comparison, all right, think about this. You know how to do this when you're fighting. Think about this. That would have been helpful. Because everybody else, they were just the worst. The worst. Which that lift, by the way, the thing that I told you was in a T, was never supposed to go the way I was thinking. It was supposed to go in between your legs. So this girl was watching me do it the wrong way, just over and over again,
just for fun.
Point, and then, wow, you're really bad at this.
Yeah.
I could punch you right now. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So that was my experience with that. But all to say, though, here's what's wild. All to say, I'm probably going to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was one, because once I got it, I'm like, all right, I could see how this is going to be really fun. All right, time to get me a board. Time to get me some boots. I'm going for this thing. So I am going to do it again. I'm going to do it.
Gotcha. All right, so your weekend sounds a little bit like mine, so that's fun. That's cool.
Because that was the thing. As I remember thinking, as I'm sitting in the middle of the hill, like, this is the worst. Like, and that's the thing, is when you're doing something so bad that you're so bad at, you're like, I should at least, I'm relatively good at physical activity. Like, I should be pretty good at this. But there's no competition.
Right.
You can't punch anybody. There's no person or team in front of you that you're trying to challenge. It's just you sucking.
Right.
With
true.
Everybody else making fun of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sucks.
But you had the competition. You had the tournament.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So Houston, Texas, WKU Pan-Ams. Good competition for the most part. It was a different vibe than most tournaments. And this is why I like it, because everyone was there for like a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, people were there to, well, like most people are, to win. But it was like, hey, we're here so that way we can win this to get to this. There wasn't like you had a bunch of randoms from locals just come in for a tournament just because it was a local tournament in Houston. There really wasn't any of that. It was like everyone there was there to either support the WKU or to get good competition or to try something different, you know what I mean? Or do something that they haven't done before. So that was different, you know what I mean? So that part was, honestly, in some ways was kind of cool. It was refreshing to me. I mean, there were some things that could have gone way better and smoother with preparations and such. But at the same time, like, it was still pretty chill. Like, you know, we still ended probably all the regular divisions were done by like 1:15, and then we did runoffs from like 1:15 to 2:30 or something, you know. So I mean, it was good. You know, not a huge event. I mean, but again, like I said, it's not going to be huge when everyone's there for like a purpose. You know what I mean? Like those qualifiers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a little different vibe. It's still the whole Pan Am thing for WKU is new. WKU.
So you're not getting a lot of beginners. You're not getting any of them. This is just
really. You had like one ring for underbelt stuff. Yeah, I mean, Luis had some underbelt divisions for his students to compete at. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And you had one ring of underbelts. The rest was qualifiers. You know, I mean, that's really what it was. Interesting to see how that affects the nationals in April in Indiana, because a lot of people came so that way if they won, then they didn't have to go to the nationals. You know, like myself, I don't really have to compete at the nationals because I won first in like 6 of my divisions. But yeah, so I mean, there's things like that. Same thing with, I think, Rashad. You know, he was going to go ahead and qualify one of his divisions, Rashad Eugene. So, you know, it's a different vibe. It's a different concept. I don't think they're going to do it like that again, because the goal is to create more of a league, like a real state reps and regional reps, and, you know, tournaments that build to the nationals being a bigger thing. And so if you win the Pan-Ams, I think it would give you like a seed, almost like if you won the gold medal or maybe silver medal or something like that at the World Championships before. There's still some new things in the works, and I've been, you know, talking to people about it and how it's going to go. So interesting to see, you know, where the WKU kind of goes from here. But it seems like it's growing for the most part. I know in Mexico it's growing. There's about like 15 tournaments this year that are WKU in Mexico. So.
And now the Worlds for the WKU again this year, it's in Quebec, right?
Yeah, Quebec City.
Right.
I think the only issue is like it's kind of like what happened this past year with WKC. It kind of starts on like that weekend or maybe the first day or two of diamonds, and then it kind of goes the rest. So we'll see how that goes, but whatever. As far as for me, it was fun. I did some 35 plus divisions. I did some 18 plus divisions. I ended up overall by the weekend competed in 10 divisions pretty much.
Can't really. So tell us the divisions that you did and how you placed, because we're invested. Like, tell me.
Well, all right. So it's a lot different, like doing this much at this age. I took a few years off of really just focusing on promoting.
Now, when you say this age,
I'm 36, so it's different. All right.
I'm with you. I know.
But you get in that point when you get to that where you can do both, and you're like, all right, I got this, And so it felt good. I did 18 plus Korean, 18 plus hard style, 35 plus hard style, 35 plus hard creative weapons, 35 plus musical forms, 35 plus lightweight fighting, and then 35 plus low kick lightweight or whatever it was. So the biggest problem with that,
many.
Yeah, that was a lot. And then I had 3 grand championships and then fighting runoffs. So it was a lot on that. The worst thing happened was that I had to do low kick the first division. So
time.
Yeah.
Before all of those?
Before all my forms, that was my first thing. And I've never, ever done that before. So what happened was, let's see.
We've never done it in that sequence, or you've never done low kick before?
No, I've never competed at low kick. I've barely even had people to really train with on that. I just was like, you know what? Let's try something new. Let's get out there. You got to get out of your comfort zone. So for me, let's be honest. I hit myself over the head with a water bottle and a board before I do my forms. You think I care about like getting hit? Like, come on, let's go. Broken. Like we've said, we've broken our nose so many times. It's just the way it is. I'm not trying to say that I'm a great point fighter or fighter or whatever. Of course, yes, I did listen to Willie's and Regina's thing, and they were talking about me not fighting. That's fine. I think, though, clarification, though, is like I think it sounded like I got beat up doing point fighting. No, it was low kick. I was doing low kick, never done it before. It's a lot different. And yes, of course, my kicks aren't going to look the same. I was learning on the fly. It was cool. After I did it, yes, I got a bloody nose, but let's be honest, I get a bloody nose all the time. It's just kind of the way it is when you've had your nose broken so many times. I definitely have to train more for it, but I kind of knew that going in there. Was a cool experience. I do things differently than most people. If I'm the person that's just going to sit and train until I get into something, then I probably will never actually enter it, because that's kind of what like perfectionists do, and like they just procrastinate, right?
Yeah.
And then you won't ever do it. So I've kind of changed that over the past few years. Just go in and just try it. And now I know how to prepare and to train for it and to everything. Now, after that, I had to do weapons, and I had to compete against Corky Sykes, who's a great competitor. I almost was like, man, I do not know if I can move the way I need to or even kick. It was, of course, my right leg that got the big welt on it. But from there, I did well, won that division over him. Honestly, did one of my best.
So you won the low kick?
No. I got second in low kick. I lost that fight.
You beat Corky Sykes.
Yeah. I'm talking about after that, I went and did.
Got it.
Did the weapons. So I had those 2 that night. Man, I was sore. My leg was killing me.
I can't believe that.
And then after that, I had all my events, 9 that morning, and I kept going. Then I actually helped set up the finals and kind of was helping do the runoffs during the day. So while that happened, then they were doing runoffs for seniors. So I just kind of jumped. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it because I thought I was going to be doing other stuff. And I went in and jumped in and did the senior runoffs for fighting. Fought a guy from England. First 15 seconds, he tried to sweep me. So that was fun. But
did he sweep you?
No. He hit like above my knee. It was weird. He went too high. Then he never did it again. Just the front hand to the body kind of got me. Like I kept hitting with a side kick, but after.
So that's part of the WKU rule.
Yeah, they have that as well. So it was a different style. My biggest problem of it is I just didn't warm up before I fought on any of it, you know.
That's the hard part when you do that many divisions.
Right.
There is no warm up time.
Right.
There's no mental prep. But Jeff, confirm or deny this.
Yeah.
When you're doing that many divisions and they're all forms.
Yeah.
You can go from one division, hurry up, go to the next one and just perform. All right, you're done with that. Hurry up, just go perform. Because for forms, most of the prep was months and weeks ago. All right. So
for
now
most people,
it's just a switch.
Right. Well, for me, it's just a switch anyway. But I think for a lot of people, they have to get in their mindset. They have to remember, okay, now I'm in open forms. I have to get my mindset and remember my form for open. I don't have any of that because I just make it up on the spot. So it doesn't really affect me. I actually stress more about like the traditional forms and stuff.
Yes.
Than the open.
Absolutely.
Because I have to have it a certain way and it has to be that way. For open, like seriously, like I took music that was on my iPad from like 3 years ago for one of my students, put it on and choreographed it to it. I listened to it once, said, okay, this is enough time for me to get up there and get back and then start the form, did it and just kind of went, you know? So,
what was the music?
Oh, it was like a cool, remix with like a hip hop remix of, was it? Shout, like Make You Want to Shout, like the old 50s, 60s song, but it was like a hip hop version of it.
Like from the movie with Otis Day and the Knights?
Yeah. But like it's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
I found that a few years ago and it worked. And, you know, so the first 30 seconds of my form was me hitting to all the boom, pop, you know, with my kick. So it was fun.
All right.
So I did that. I ended up winning the traditional grand, the senior grand, and then I lost to Rashad in the weapons grand. So, and I also...
Rashad did a quintuple bull form, right?
No, he didn't actually. Disappointment. He did a combo form. What did he do? He did a combo form, and he really did more flips than he did his combo stuff. So it was really interesting. It was cool how he kind of battled me that way. I wasn't expecting that. So it was fun to get up there and at 36 still compete against one of the top guys on that part. But just makes me want to keep going out there and competing more and more. So it was a lot of fun. My students enjoyed it. Good competition, different people than we've seen before. I like doing the hard style division. That was fun, you know.
So hard style is like a creative form. Tell me what hard.
So it's more like an open style traditional division. So like meaning you can do a Korean, Japanese, whatever. You can modify forms. You know, there's some people that do a lot of ki-eyes and stuff. I didn't. What I did, I actually put 3 basic forms together and made one long form. So I made like Hyeon, Sandan, Yandan, and Godon. So again, was really cool to compete against Rashad and get to do that. The other thing is my nunchucks. I actually got them taken from TSA, so I didn't actually have any weapons when I went there. So I had to borrow several times. So that was fun.
So wait, when you say taken, like they're gone. You don't forever. You don't have.
Yeah. So I messed up. You know, it was my fault. I put them in my bag, and then I decided not to check it like I was planning, and just carried on. I forgot, so it was in there, But at the same time, I traveled all the way from like here to Mexico with my commas before in my backpack.
I was just gonna say, I've done it with commas many times.
So I'm like, it's not a big deal. I just put it at the bottom. They don't really care. So they took them. They're like, well, you can go back and check them in and check this bag. I'm like, nah, we're running late. We're, and I had, my girlfriend and 3 kids, there. I didn't want to keep making them wait on me and all this and that. It's like, nah, whatever. Like, well, I was like, can you just have them here and I'll pick them up when I come back? Nope.
What do you mean, no?
Yeah, that's what they do. So, yeah. So I lost a pair of nunchucks. Yeah, man.
What kind were they?
I think these were G-Force ones that I had.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
G-Force, 10th degree, Jeff Doss, he needs a new pair of nunchucks.
That's right.
Here's what you guys need to do. Send this man a new pair of nunchucks, and he'll do a product review for you. This man needs one. He had them. He was ready to use them. I was ready. So one of you guys needs to send this man a new pair of nunchucks.
There we go.
And he'll do a product review for you.
There we go.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, that's right. That's exactly how it's gonna work. I like it. So it was a good weekend. Felt good I haven't done OG in a while. I mean, I haven't done that many divisions since, man. I don't know. I've
never done that many divisions in my life.
I don't know when the last time was. So I'm definitely sore. We got home around 5 a.m. On Monday morning. So went to work, got just exhausted, man. Just a long weekend. So, and then overall it was a fun event. No, I did not drive. That was from my flight. So yeah. So I had to fly into Richmond, Virginia, and then drive 2 hours home. So by the time we flew in, we left the airport at Richmond at 1 a.m., got home maybe 3:30 at the karate school, got all the cars. By the time I got home to my place, it was 4. And then I was just kind of like,
yuck.
You know what? I don't have any coffee or anything more. So I had to go to Sheetz to go and get like bags of coffee and some breakfast. Wait, what?
What's Sheetz?
You don't know what Sheetz is? Sheetz is like the one, like a
talking about sheets on your bed?
No, like the convenience store, like Sheetz. Like, do you have Wawa? Do you know what Wawa is?
No. We don't got that, man.
All right, so it's like
just
this
7-Eleven.
All right, so it's like a humongous convenience store it's open 24 hours, and it has like a full-on like grill and everything all night. You can get pretty much anything. They have good prices on. I mean, they got everything there. You can get milkshakes, you can get coffee, you can get.
This is a 24/7 type of place.
24/7 gas,
Get the
everything.
heck out of here.
It's humongous. I mean, it's big.
Apparently.
And I mean, you can get hats and shirts and all this stuff. It's not as big as like a Buc-ee's in Texas. In Texas, they got. I mean, this convenience store is as big as a Walmart. So, yeah. Those are called. So, anyways, fun time. I did get some Texas brisket, so I was happy about that.
Oh, now that's dope.
That is the best stuff. Got to see a lot of my friends like Corky Sykes, Bear Loebe, Danae. Saw Regina for a little bit. Saw Chris Gallio, Casey Gallio. Lots of different people. Mike Tobin from Utah. Just a good event. A good time. Fun. Was fun watching some of the fighting. Their open weight.
Tell me about it.
Their open weight was 16 and up. So for men and for women. And so the 2 youngest people made it in the finals. I think they had about 12 or 14 in that. And they were both from England. 16-year-old, 17-year-old. Beat everybody there. Was fun watching both of them fight point and then move on and fight continuous after that. Just the way they switched their styles up and everything. One of the guys who was 16 I have a hard time with their names. I'll remember. One was Declan, and I don't remember the other one's name. But anyway, the shorter one, he was fighting a kid who is a really good continuous fighter, has won several titles in NBL and stuff, and just picked him apart because of just the more crisp kickboxing style that he had, and was really just impressive to see. I'm trying to think of stuff. Sue Breslton was there, which was great to see. She's been around for a long time. And Terry Kramer, I mean, lots of people, Lori Stanley, lots of people that I got to talk to, converse with, and really just see, where this is going to go and their plans for the future. So excited to see it move forward. They had a Europe versus, there's 2 people from Germany and a big team, about 6 or 7 from England that were there.
So they had a Europe versus the U.S.?
Versus the U.S., yeah. That was fun to kick off the event. U.S. won. It was close until
Who was
the
on
last
the U.S.
fight.
team?
So, let's see. We got Abaya. We got Justin Johnson. We have Sue Brazelton, who was the female. The other 2, one was 2, I think, were junior competitors that were, I'm not sure. One was from Georgia. I think he came with Speedy. I don't remember his name. And then the other one, I think, is like from Kentucky or something. And so, was a good time. I think that there could have been some, strategy changes. Like, I think England had so many different fighters that were fighting that night and other stuff that they didn't put all their best guys out there. But I think USA. I mean, USA still won by 10. It was a good fun event. So
that's
to
dope.
kick the event off. So was cool to see just different people. You know what I mean? In there and such. So yeah. Fun time. I'm excited to move forward. We're going to do the trials in April. I'm also probably going to try to go up to McKinley's event. I'm going to try. We'll see. And that would be like a WKC qualifier, just kind of see what that's like as well. So I'm ready just to get back to competing and having fun, man.
My man.
And there we go. So
now, speaking of competing, did you hear about the other event?
Oh, the COM.
Shut up.
COM.
The Southern California competition. How about that?
Yes, I heard about that. Couple of things. Returns of certain people. Jacob Pinto returned, which was really cool.
That was cool. I was glad to see that.
Yeah, so I'm glad.
See, I didn't pay attention to so over the weekend. I paid attention to zero. I mean, nothing. Yeah. Right? I just fall on my butt is all I paid attention to. I had to go back and look at stuff. You hear about end results, and you're like, all right, I got to see how this happened. So, yeah, but that was cool that Jacob Pinto was out. If I'd have known that, I might have put him on my team.
There you go. That's right.
I didn't even think about that.
Pinto. Yeah, that's true.
Right. I'm happy with my squad that will beat your squad.
It's fine. Mine made it to one of my guys made it to finals again. So
man, don't worry. Don't worry.
It's all right. What's cool, of course, the big
one of my guys
was
made it
Pablo.
there too, just didn't win.
Yeah. Pablo, that was awesome, man. So, congrats to him, man. I've known this dude since he started. So Pablo started with DM, David Marquez, martial arts in Mexico, right? Mexico City. And he's put it out before. He was not the most athletic guy back in the day.
No, Pablo straight up says. Yeah. Pablo says he verbally would say I was not any good. Yeah. I was not very good.
He used to be one of the most awkward fighters to watch, to everything. And yeah.
What he's done is, first of all, he's a very coachable person and fighter. Yeah. So he's trimmed down the amount of things that he attempts. Yeah. All right. But the fact that he's really coachable, right, allows him the opportunity to have success, right? If you say, if they do this, you only do this thing. If they show you this, do that. Mm-hmm. He's going to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like move for move, point for point. So when you saw that it was Kevin versus Pablo, what did you think the end result was going to be?
So, I mean, I guess most people thought Kevin was going to win.
I thought it was going to be Kevin on the route.
Yeah. But I think.
So, I'll tell you why. Chris touched on it. I thought Kevin was going to kick the bejesus out of him. Right, I thought he was going to go crazy. Now, when I watched it, so here's the problem. Is Kevin he's not just very good physically at everything. Kevin's also really smart. Kevin thinks ahead. The problem is if you say, yo, just go kick this dude, it doesn't feel like that's very intelligent. It doesn't feel like, all right, that's a sophisticated thing to do. But it's the right thing to do.
Overthinking it, right? That's kind of what he. Yeah, I get that.
But you feel good when you set them up. When you lay out the leaves over the hole and you kind of bait them into falling in the trap. Like, you feel good. Like, I set that whole thing up. Let's go kick the guy in the face.
Yeah.
You can throw 9,000 kicks, and the way he's been kicking lately,
right?
Come the heck on.
Yeah.
Just go do it, right? And then when he gets tied up, thinking about that, go. Because if you let it, and then some, I think Anthony Merrick's is a little bit better in this, but the reason I bring him up is if you let it get to a point where it's like, all right, it's your body punch versus theirs, all right? Then you take an advantage away that you had. Pro tip, right? Here's a pro tip. Yeah. If you have a physical advantage, if you have an advantage one way or the other, and you intentionally remove that from the fight, you're allowing yourself to get into a coin flip match.
Correct.
Or get them into a position where they have a slight advantage. Sometimes we do that as fighters or competitors as almost like an arrogance thing. And I don't think that was the case, but almost as a way of, okay, this is your thing. Watch me be better at it.
Right.
Oh, I've done that all the time. When it came to kicking, I would do that all the time. Oh, you're good at that? Watch me.
Yeah.
And then I'd lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. It actually happens a lot in forums too. You see that happen as well, because there are people that you have something better than them, but you know what? They're gonna do this back for the hat. I'm gonna try to do it higher than them. Okay, but
is that what
I
didn't really think about it like that.
Is that what you're really better at than them? No, you're probably a better kicker, or your stances. You need to focus on the technique and, or just being more intense than everybody. That's actually going to stand out more to the judges than the other stuff. So that
I didn't really think about it that way until Marcel Jones told it to me like that.
Right.
It was like the night he was up to win his diamond ring.
Right.
And I'm like, because I remember he was staying with me in my house. We're tight. So I'm like, bro, what are you going to do? And he goes, oh, I'm not going to do any tricks. I'm like, huh? What? He goes, and I might have talked about this before. And he goes, no, if I do my flash kick, they're going to compare it to Steve's, like quintuple flash. If I do my twist, they're going to compare it to, I forget who at the time, might have been Matt Emmings or Dalen Sterling. So like, if I do my whatever, they're going to compare it to Mark Canonizato. So like, I'm not doing any of that.
Correct.
I'm like, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this works out. And homie won.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. That's always been my philosophy as well, too. Like, why waste all this time trying to do what everybody else does when all that's going to do is make it more comparable to them than the opposite,
Exactly.
Because, again, because I remember for years, like, growing up, the moves were always different, Like, it was the 540 when I first started. And I could do a 540, but I never did it in my form because everybody did it. Why do it and make it to where it was compared to everybody else, I'm going to do something different. When it was a round off flash kick, I'm not even going to touch that. I can do it. I did it. I could flip. So many people didn't think I could flip or trick or any of that, but I did. It was just that why put it in my form when it's just going to be the same as everybody else, So it's the same thing. Marcel was good at that. Several others were real good at that as well. So, and I think, that same thing happens with fighting. So congrats to Pablo. We kind of went all over the place on that one, but
yeah,
we definitely
congrats
needed to.
him. But here's the weird part. So
okay.
Chris talks about this, and this is the downside of that tournament. Is he was talking is because they were going over the different divisions and the winners. He didn't have anybody in his division.
Yeah.
Now that's not a knock for the win.
On him. No.
Because that win was a win.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
yeah.
There was like I think it was 20 guys. It was 20 guys in the heavyweight at AKA.
Wow.
And not a single one of them was there.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy to think because I remember that was one of the tournaments that I went to consistently as a junior. And that tournament was always big. All of our divisions were huge. And it wasn't just forms. It was fighting, everything. It was a big deal then. But there's nothing locally in that area anymore. And that's a big issue. That's been like that for about 10 years now.
Why do you think that is?
There's nothing in that. For Southern California, I really don't know. So Compete really is more of an underbelt event. There's a lot. Now it's a big junior event, I guess I would say. But, I don't know if they still have all the underbelts on Sunday, but they used to always do that. And
when I would attend, that was the thing.
Yeah. So it would be a 3-day event. So Ocean State used to do the same thing. Several events like that would do that. So I don't know. I think
which, if that's going to happen, there's zero excuse for your tournament running late.
No, exactly.
And what ironically happens, both of those tournaments run late.
Yes.
How's that possible?
So for me, I remember, my first finals, was both of those events was Compete, and it would be 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Or 12 or midnight their time, which would be
Chris Casamassa,
which would be 3
3
a.m. my time.
Right.
As a 10-year-old kid, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Same thing would happen, at some of the Super Grands. Now, in their defense, they're putting every single division final, the top 2, on stage. So that's a lot, when you have 125 divisions and you're spacing out over 4 nights. Still, it shouldn't happen. It's just too late, especially for that. So, Compete, you know what? I'm glad. It looks like, I don't know. I didn't really get to see too many things. I saw that, my friend, I don't know about Travis's, but my friend won the 18-plus traditional grand, Ramel. And he won the 30-plus forms grand. So that was pretty cool. He won both of those. So, and a lot of his students, though, and one of the students won the women's weapons grand. So that was cool. And then some of his students were at the WKU thing because he's from Texas.
Drew Beatty's leg looked pretty good.
Yes. Drew.
I like the way that she's kicking now. Like, she's always had the axe kick.
Yeah.
She can always kick a lot, and she can kick really high.
Yeah.
I like the placement of her kicks.
Things are getting more accurate, precise.
And it's not like she could always put them anywhere she wanted. She's got a more sophisticated plan. Okay, here's an example. There was a point in her overall final match where she just set up a basic defensive side kick to the body, but it was how she set it up with how she was kicking. And if you look back at it, you'll find it. She set it up to try to make her opponent blitz and make her opponent feel like she was in range when she wasn't going to be in range.
Right.
So her weapon choice was just a basic step back solid side kick to the body. So she set her up for that, which was really good. And I saw that coming, and I'm like, all right, that was smart. Because a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years ago, it would have just been, I'm going to come at your head and I'm going to kick it off, which she has the ability to do. but this is a lot more efficient.
Correct.
While she's not just throwing 1-2 at a time. You know what I mean? Like she is dropping it down on you, which is dang dope.
Yeah, it is. It's always cool to see that. I love watching axe kicks. She did well. Paola won the open weight and won teams. She's always an interesting one. She actually always does well at that event. And she's really small, really lightweight, quick. So overall, you know what? Good warm up for those guys before they go to Ireland. Chris Walker, congratulations. He won the 30 plus.
Yeah, he did.
Overall,
now he's doing, and we'll talk about this when we do our preview, but he's doing like seniors and veterans at the Irish Open. I think he's doing minus 79.
Right.
So that'll be good. I hope he takes gold in both.
Yeah, that would be great.
But before we get to that part, I feel like we should start doing this.
Oh.
You know how I'm always wrong for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Guess what else? Guess what else I was wrong about?
The Grands or Irish Open?
Nope.
Oh.
The Wilder Fury fight.
Oh, yeah.
We should start doing that. When we have a big fight like that, we should just go, okay, Alex, which one are you choosing?
Yeah.
Let me go put $100 on the other guy.
I should have done that. I mean,
my thought process. I
understood
the size. My thought process was, Wilder's gonna sneak inside. He's gonna get inside. And then just destroy him. I was like, one time, he's gonna do it, and I had no evidence to believe that that's what he was gonna do. But I just kept thinking, I was like, dude with that kind of power, he's just gonna get inside one of those punches and then just bang, like he's in a video game or something. I just saw that power coming. No, it was like I knew, because once I watched back the fight, I looked at it. That it was like I forgot what it looked like the first time they fought. I literally did. So then when I watched them two there, I'm like, of course he's not gonna do that. He's literally fighting a giant.
Yeah.
He's a giant.
He is.
And when he's there, like when he's in the ring, like there's certain people like it's hard to move from, it's hard to run from in the ring. He takes up half the ring.
Right. He's humongous, man. It's crazy.
And he can move. His head movement is so good.
Yeah. He did a show, I guess last year, like a pro wrestling show, and he went head to head with like a 7-foot giant, and those dudes looked like they were. I mean, you couldn't tell. You know what I mean? Sometimes when those boxing guys come in, or even the MMA guys come in, their bodies aren't in the same shape as those guys are, and they don't. They just don't look as comparable. Dude, it didn't. It looked like he was, in there forever. It was pretty interesting, pretty cool.
And what I heard was, so Fury cut, a little bit to get before the fight,
right?
But Wilder gained weight,
right?
And then put that monstrosity of an outfit on.
Yeah, the entrances were funny.
Fury's wasn't so funny. He just had like a crown and a cape.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't so bad. It was like, all right, you think you're the king. Okay, yeah. We've never heard that one before.
Right, but still, I mean, just getting carried to the ring, that's always fun.
Now, so when Wilder said, it was the armor.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, but I thought about Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
So Roberto Duran, you know what I'm talking about? So when he did the no mas, I'm done. In the middle of a round. Right. In the middle of a round, he's fighting Sugar Ray Leonard the second time. First time, he brought it to him, hands of stone.
Yeah.
Brought to Sugar Ray, got Sugar Ray to just try to sit there and swing with him and not use his movement, and he beat Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray retires, they come back, they do it again. Sugar Ray dancing all over the place. Pow.
Boom.
He blamed it on the hot coffee.
Yeah.
He blamed it on the hot coffee he had earlier that morning. Said it messed with his stomach.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Now there's some bad excuses. That's the worst.
That's a bad one. Yeah.
It's the worst, but he's still standing. He's still sticking to it. Like to this day, like he won't give it up.
Yeah. Did you see that 30 for 30 about that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It's interesting. That's a good series, man. That's one of the best things out there.
30 for 30.
Yeah.
I love them.
Oh,
the 30 for 30s are great.
Yeah.
They should do a 30 for 30 on Jeff Doss. That would be great.
I don't know what they call it. I don't know. Anyways.
But they should do that. There should be a filmmaker out there and just film some of the sport karate guys and do a 30 for 30.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool. I'm not sure what it would be.
They could have. There's a lot. They could have done. They need to actually do one on Billy Blanks. That would be cool because of where he's gone from and stuff. Would have been cool to see one on Nasty. I think that would have been real cool to get inside of him, his mind and stuff. There's a lot of options. I think there's still some amazing people that they can do it on. Raymond. You know what?
Well, that's the easy one. Yeah. That's the easy one, and it would be an entertaining one. We would all sign up to watch it. Buy it,
big time. All right, so
let's look at this Irish Open preview.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's talk about it. So, but before we even get to that, there's some competitors that we can't preview.
Right, they're not going to be able to come.
This is the one time where if you have Italian descent, it is not an advantage for you. So,
oh man,
if you are Italian and you are coming from Italy, apparently you are no longer allowed to compete. Now, I don't think that means you can't go to Ireland. I think the Irish Open is just making it a rule like you're not competing. So if I'm wrong and they can't even travel to the country, then that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, I don't know. So I just know that there were certain areas at first, and now they're saying the whole
right.
The whole
country. I think it was like 3 or 4 cities.
I've seen that today. I've also seen the more things about Japan and the Olympics possibly getting canceled because of all this. It's just bad, man. What about, all right, I don't know if this, I don't know how it works in Europe, but I know when I went to I know it's a different area, but when I went to Austria, we had to stop in Germany, as our, connector. What if there was people that had to stop in Italy as their connector and then go from there, some of the ones on the other side, because I know
that's a good point.
Yeah, but I don't know if that happens or not over there. But I mean, I'm just saying for me, I had to go to 2 different places in Germany to get to Austria when I did.
I mean, if that's the case right now, don't you just put yourself in a bubble?
Yeah.
Like if you got to get there, you're like, all right, well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be uncomfortable and in this bubble for a certain period of time.
This is weird, man. This is another thing. Last year was a good Irish Open. The year before was the snowstorm and everything. That affected it. Now this year the illness is affecting it.
But but
we're talking about one of the better countries that brings people to this event. You don't really see it much in the Italian competitors, but there was at least one. Almost every other division had at least one.
Hey, I got an Italian on my team.
Yeah, had an Italian, on there. So
I got an Italian on my team. That's right.
So. Elena not going to be able to do it. David. That's what David Colati, David Guffanti. They can't go. I mean, there's a lot of top competitors from that area that aren't able to do it. So interesting to see what happens with there.
Yeah, basically all best fighter can't go. Right. IKEA can't go.
Right.
It does stink. HMD can't go.
Right.
It really stinks. Which HMD's got some good kickers too, by the way.
Yeah.
But so that stinks for them. I think for the Irish Open as a whole, it might sound bad, but I don't think it's going to affect once the tournament's done.
Right.
I don't think the fact that the Italians weren't there, it's not going to put a stain on it. right? So
not
like
a huge one, not
like
a huge
the
one,
Blizzard.
no.
How about this? Like the Blizzard tournament. I don't like. There was so many people that weren't there. I still don't think there was a stain on it because of the final matches that were there. You know,
like they were so good.
Elise Gurel putting the whoop on, and I forget her name. She's from England, but she just dominated.
Yeah.
And who?
Roman.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the junior kid.
Oh yeah.
From England. Darius Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that kid. Yeah, he was good. But then the match with Roman and Ross. So that was a phenomenal match. I believe went to OT, right?
Yeah.
So, and the reason why it was obviously it was a close match. It was a good match because it went into OT. But I knew Ross's strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that going into it, and then just sitting back and literally watching it from afar, I was like, "Oh, this is the business because it's working."
Right.
Right. And I'm like, I can't believe it. But then the Roman's that guy where you're like, "Oh, it's working. You're dominating him, kicking the head. None of that matters anymore." It's like that.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Oh man.
But let's talk about some of the previews. So for the teams, what do you think?
So there's a lot of people that are coming. You know, so Proper is heading over there. So that'll be cool to see. Like, well, a good amount of their team is Italian, so we may not see their full.
But they got
team.
They got a lot of South America. So you're gonna have Brian.
Right. So
you're gonna have
if they're all going,
Luis.
If they're all going, I think they probably should.
Connor McGlinchey will be there. I don't know. Is he going to fight for Tala Martial Arts or is he going to fight for Proper? I'm pretty sure he'll fight for. I think he'll fight for Proper.
Okay, so that we'll see about that one. I think, All Stars is going. They're going full out. They're going to have their team.
Now, what's that team going to be? So you're going to have
Kevin, Jack,
Elijah, Chris. Can Robbie go?
No. And yeah.
Is it that Robbie? Is the restriction that Robbie just can't go to the U.S. or is his passport just kind of restricted? So is it U.S. only or is it everywhere except for Canada? I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
So
he can, but we're not sure.
Robbie can go. We just don't know if he's going to be there.
Right.
So for the 4 right now that we know for All Stars, Jack, Chris, Kevin, Elijah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
the main competitor, I would say, if it's not Corrali, which we don't know what that squad is, right? That could be Laszlo, Richie, Tomas, Roland, and Christian. That's a dang good lineup.
Yeah.
Okay. They usually have.
Would they put Chris? Would they put Chris in there? I'm just saying because I know that he represents there too. Chris.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Yeah. No, I mean they don't need to, but maybe. But again, maybe he'll be on the English team or whatever.
I don't know. They actually might, and the reason why is I don't think Christian fought at the Waterford Open. So Christian might be taking some time off, maybe.
I think
don't know. So Chris Aston might fight with Corrali.
Or him and even Elijah fight with the British team.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, but
that ain't gonna happen. Elijah's fighting All Stars. But
he should, definitely.
Top 10 Germany.
Yeah, that's a good team.
That's the one. I think that's the front runner right now because of what they got. Because Roman fights with top 10 Germany.
Right.
And then
what other teams from America are going? So we also have top 10
Top
USA.
10 USA.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So
let's
look at what top 10 USA is. So you got Tyreek.
Yep.
Troy.
Yeah.
Aljava. Enrique. That's it. It's a 4-man team.
You have the Spences. You have 6.
So you got the Spences. So look at that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
They have a.
They got a squad.
They have a squad.
They got a good
going.
squad. They got a good squad.
Lucas will be there as well. Lucas Allen. So they have a lot. They have a big team actually.
Yeah. The goal out of that one, because it's so different right away for the Americans when you go, is the goal is really just get out of the second round. Right. Get out of the second round, because
the advantage they have over all of them is that all of them have been competing in Europe for the past year or two.
Yeah, so, huge advantage. Huge
advantage for them. I mean, Enrique was the top-rated guy for Waco Pro for, I think, last year or whatever.
Now, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is Straight Up going, or is it just Bailey? Because if it's just Bailey, does he get picked up as a hired gun just for a competition?
I think so. And who else is going?
That's the case.
Avery's going.
That's where I was going with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last time Avery fought with Corelli, remember? So,
which is so strange to me.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I get it because Richard Plowden is so smart.
Well, yeah.
Right? And Esteban Corelli is very
smart. Yeah.
So I understand like their like-mindedness. Yeah. I get that. And I get the mutual respect there. It's strange because it's like, no, you want to they're constantly in competition with each other. It's
right.
Like, then you want to say like you're the enemy. That's like
that's
too strong words. But
well, it's the same. Is it weirder than Impex and All-Stars last year? I don't think it's weirder than that. Like that was probably the weirdest.
Would be as if it was like Impex and JPM.
Right, or All-Stars and JPM.
That would be it.
That would be the weirdest.
That would be it. There would be no way that could happen.
Yeah, no. I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, but Impex and All-Stars, the whole split and everything, and the reason why I mean, come on now. That was that it was weird. But at the same time, it was 5-6 years later.
Let's look at the Impact side. So you got Avery, you got Chris, and you got who's the new kid?
I can't think of his name.
Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nico.
Yeah.
All right.
So those guys.
And
then you put Bailey on there. That'd be fun.
If that's not a thing, we might have just spoken into existence right now. So someone listening to this is like, oh yeah, we should have thought of that. All right, there you go.
All right, a question this year for women's, is it 3 women? I think it is 3 women.
It's always been. As far as every time I've gone since 2014.
But it used to be they only had one version of teams, and it was like 1 woman and three males or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was,
so the Irish Open for Waco, they allow them to do something different.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It would be 5. It would be like like 3 man, 1 woman. So the Irish Open does their own thing. They do a 4-man team.
Yeah.
And then they do 3 women, which. Now it's total points.
Yeah.
I liked it better when it was by wins.
No.
Why don't you like that? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I think it.
Here's why I don't understand. Here's why I do like it. It's entertaining. I'd like to compete in both. Yeah. I just think the wins is better. And the reason why is because if you have a team of 4 guys and we win 3 out of the 4 fights, and we're ahead by a total of 6 points, but you have this one guy who wins by 8. Oh, I suppose, but your team was not better. Your guy was better.
Yeah, but your team put that guy in the position to win. So
I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth because I like that in other sports too.
For me, I like it because you get that comeback. You know what I mean? Like I want to see the full. I didn't come to see half the drama. Team fight.
I know.
I didn't come to see only 3 of the 4 fight. I came to see all 4 fight. Or I didn't come to see 2 of the 3 fight. I came to see all 3 fight. So it's kind of like if we only played 3 quarters of a 4-quarter game. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get that.
So
it's just the same
really
thing.
Like that, so
when the game's tied or the Lakers are down 10 going into the 4th quarter. Come on, you all know. Bring it to the ticket. LeBron's going to take it to you. He's going to demolish you.
I remember.
Speaking of, little side note. I got into it because living here, everybody thinks Michael Jordan's the GOAT. He's not, right? Right? So people literally don't they have told themselves a lie. They think two things. One, that Michael Jordan started playing basketball in 1990, right?
Yeah.
Which no, he was drafted in 1984, and they think he took 2 years off. And it's like when I tell them, like, no, he played in the 94-95 season.
Right.
He lost. And they're like, well, no, he didn't. He won 3 championships, took 2 years off, won 3 championships. Like, no, he lost.
Yeah.
He lost in the playoffs to Shaquille O'Neal and Anthony Hardaway. And their minds, like, you watch their minds, like, try to comprehend and try to come up with an excuse. Like, no, that's real. So anyway, whatever. That's a little side note. All right.
Because I
know you don't want to talk too much basketball.
No, but see, that age, like, I know I was huge in basketball at that time. But, yeah, no.
When he came back wearing 45?
Yeah.
And then he pulled his jersey down from the rafters the next game and wore 23 and then still lost that series to the Magic. Yeah, that happened too.
Right. Yep. Anyways, golly, see, there we go again with the basketball talk messing up.
Oh my goodness, and we're getting close to the playoffs too, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's true.
When it gets real.
So yes, I mean I'm excited for that, for the Irish Open. It's gonna be fun. Final 4 picks. Do you want to do that or final?
It's so yes, but we can't. But we're not gonna. We're
never gonna get it right. So just
guessing. Well, because we don't know what pool they're gonna be in.
Right.
So
for me, who is it that's fighting right now? Who's hot right now? Who is it that does well there? You know.
Well, no. You kind of gotta make your picks, but you also got guys.
Well, yeah, I have people on my team. You have people on your team. Yeah. So I have a Jack. He's in there all the time, almost the top 4.
I got 3 guys that are gonna make it at least.
I have Elijah, so I have those 2, and I think Bailey could be in there. So
I got Roman, Avery, and Kevin.
Yep. Who's my other guy?
You got a lot of other guys.
Oh, I got Cam, but Cam's not going, right?
Cam's not going. Is Hector going?
I'm pretty sure Hector is, but I'm not sure. He's done well fighting over there, and then I have Tali, who may beat.
He's made it to the Final 4 before.
Yeah.
He's made it to the Final 4.
Yeah.
But I also got Enrique. Oh, I'm beating you this one, man. I'm gonna beat you.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know you don't think so.
All right, women's. I think I only have. No, I think I have 2 going.
You got. Is Elise Guerrero going?
I don't know if I saw a picture of Team United and who they're taking, but I thought it was just juniors. But I don't know if that's their only people going.
Well, she's all-stars.
I guess, yeah. It's true.
There's no reason for me to think she's not. But, she is United, but she's a member of All-Stars.
Right. She could do really well there.
Yep.
She has done. And then
is Gina going?
Then I have Morgan. No, I don't think Gina's going.
Okay.
No, because no, she's not, because we're doing a workout this weekend. Her and I, and
that would make it challenging for her to be in 2 places at once.
Right. Yeah, she's not going. Yeah.
And then mine. Who are my women again? Well, I got my Italian that can't be there. Kaya, and I don't know. I don't know if anybody from KTOC, from KTOC is going to be there.
So you lost. So
yeah. And
I'm definitely winning this one.
Well, is Katana going that you know of? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to win that one then.
Yeah.
Got no KTOC, no Taco Dojo, whatever.
That's an interesting one. Why some of those, especially since like Kaya and Hector.
Well, then I'm going to pick
went
up.
To Waco World. We're doing Waco last year.
I'm doing a free agent pickup for a woman. That way I can at least have a representative. I'm going to pick up Lily Rouillard.
Okay, fine.
Oh, you got no confidence in my pick.
That's fine. I have Morgan Plowden.
Get it, Lily.
Morgan Plowden.
I know.
Lily was my 4th pick if I had another one for female, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so should be fun. I don't know. Every year it's interesting because the forms gets a little better each year at Irish Open. It's still weird to me.
Are the Paul Mitchell competitors? Yeah. Are they competing or are they just there?
No, they usually compete. Yeah, because it's a big deal for all those people come there to watch them compete.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I know they're doing. So they're because I know they're there. They're doing the seminar. They're doing the demos during the gala on Saturday night. So they don't call it like a finals on Saturday night. They really just call it like a gala. So it's what is it?
Yeah,
they make it a big deal, big deal about winning your division.
And they pick certain big fight division, same way they did for the WKU Worlds, and have those going on. I mean, there's so many good ones that they've had over the years on that stage for first place, and then you know what, the next day is
whole nother day,
the big one.
Yeah, so. I think Louis. Yeah, I mentioned this before. Luisa Galati took 2 gold medals on Saturday.
Yeah,
lost her first round in open weight the next day.
Right. Well, it's like Chelsea won 2 gold medals and then lost open weight before. So I mean,
not her first round though.
No, not first round. I think. I think she lost. That might have been one of the years that she lost to Luisa. Yeah, it was.
But there was 2 of them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So. All right, man.
Okay. And I think Jason Latona will probably
do both.
No, I think he's going to win the junior.
Yeah. Didn't he win that last year? I think he did.
I know he won it 2 years ago.
I think he won it last year as well. I thought him and his brother were at the end. Maybe that was 2 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, they were. No, that's what it was. Enrique and Jason were in the final compete against each other, but Jason was banged up, and then Dad said, "No, you guys aren't going to fight," and which I thought that would be cool to see. That would be fun, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, let's get into our competitors of the week. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
My competitor of the week is Jesse Goldberg.
All right.
So Jesse Goldberg is a really cool guy. Jesse Goldberg's the guy who was around for a long time in the 2000s. I would say he was probably around for 11, 12 years. Okay?
He started, so when I was coming up, 93.
When I say around, I mean winning and relevant.
Right. I'm just saying, when I was coming up as a junior, him and I are the same age. So we grew up, him, myself, and Joe Greenall all around the same, Joey Greenall around the same, and maybe 1 year apart. So on the crane circuit from Don Rodriguez Karate School.
Yeah. So Jesse, here's what I like about Jesse, and there's a few guys that kind of fall into this. But Jesse consistently would win his division and then consistently lose to Raymond in the weight grand championship.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just what was happening over and over and over. When Ray was a middleweight, Jesse was a light middleweight. And that's just what happened.
Right.
Ray was very active, was doing most tournaments. Jesse was very active, and I don't think ever beat Raymond Daniels, which is not like, oh, you never beat Raymond Daniels, you're a scrub.
No.
But that's just what happened. All right. So he does have an overall win, right?
Yeah.
He did win the Ocean State Grand Nationals. That did happen.
Yeah.
Right? And he had a great tournament. Now, I fought the guy twice, once in team fight, once in a super fight, which was an odd super fight, by the way. So We don't just know each other in passing. We've actually been competitors with each other, and we're very similar in the way that we were fighting. So it was really awkward for us when we were fighting each other because it was like we were fighting a mirror, right? Mm-hmm. In some respects. Now, the biggest thing about Jesse Goldberg is, if people have forgotten or never knew him, is that it's not his fault, but he was the deciding factor in the exodus from Paul Mitchell, right?
Right.
His arrival to Paul Mitchell was the demise of Paul Mitchell, and it had nothing to do with him. And it's a messed up thing. So how that happened was, it was the end of the year. Now, the end of the competition season. The one thing that I don't know if it was written or not, but the one thing that was pretty consistent about getting picked up on Paul Mitchell at that time, now this is the end of 2003 at this moment, is you pretty much were the best in your division. You were number one in your division the year before, which Jesse was. He was, right? He was in the light middleweight. And for NASCA, he was pretty much winning that division, right? The thing is all the heavy hitters were in different divisions.
Right.
Tank was in the lightweights. Raymond was a middleweight, not a light middleweight, right? Trevor was a light heavyweight, right? Jotty was a light heavyweight, right? Brian Plemple was a heavyweight. Everybody else was dispersed. No one was a light middleweight as far as the big names and the heavy hitters. Now, that's not to cut him down at all, because it's really not, because the guy was consistent.
Right. You're also talking about a time, though, too, when NASCA wasn't where the best fighters were at. All the top people were doing both NBL and NASCA.
There you go. Yes.
And you're also talking, because we're talking about that 2003, 2004 range, where you had SCS, you had JPM, you had
this is true.
You had CJB, you had those guys doing both IDC, and some of the best fighters were not following NASCA and trying to win a NASCA title.
They were just following tournaments.
Yeah, they were going to tournaments and winning. And so that was, I think, and that's where, you had Damon that never really traveled NASCA until, consistently, until he got picked up on CJB. So
now
it was a different time.
This is true. But the biggest thing is Don Rodriguez being the head coach and decision maker of Team Paul Mitchell was also his, I don't know if it was instructor, but Jesse Goldberg was from Don Rodriguez Karate. That's where he's from, in Rhode Island. So it was then just told, the fighters were told, this is what's going to happen. But apparently, prior to that, it was always a decision. Jotty, what do you think about this kid, Raymond Daniels? All right, which apparently didn't go down that way. It was, we're thinking about picking up Tank, or we're thinking about picking up Jason Facey, and Jotty suggested Raymond. All right, or Reggie, we're thinking about picking up, and I think it was like Reggie, we're thinking about picking up Jotty, right?
Yeah.
They went with that, and that's how they would do that. And none of the fighters were consulted, and they were just told this is happening. Yeah. And then they kind of voiced their displeasure, and they were basically with the process. It wasn't their displeasure with the decision; it was their displeasure with the process. Like, don't tell us one thing and do another. And apparently, they were just told to just shut up and let the fighters fight, and the managers manage.
And the managers manage.
And they said, "Well, you manage somebody else," and they all left. Mike Pombero left. Reggie Perry left. Johnny Tension left. Raymond left.
Yeah, those four. Yep.
Now, you were left with just Jesse.
Yeah, and
so then they picked up.
Well, they already had Brian Plemple as well on the team at the time.
Brian Plemple.
Yeah.
So a couple months later, they pick up Elias. A couple months after that,
they still had Preston was competing at the time. And,
that's true. I forgot about Preston.
And Chris Rodriguez. That was kind of their team at the time.
Chris Rodriguez was kind of out at that moment, though.
He was still competing when that was going on, but it was close to the end. Yeah.
So and that's the thing is, you can't tell the Jesse Goldberg story without telling that story.
No. All right. So one thing that's weird to me about that whole situation. So Jesse was from that school, right?
Yeah.
And so what people forget is that in 95, 96, JPM kind of did the first time they ever had juniors on the team. And it was mostly people from that Crane area, like Gasper Catazzaro.
That's true.
Different ones like that, like Vanessa Allure, different ones like that they had that probably, if you look from it, weren't that top tier people, that would be up there.
Absolutely.
But they were mostly either from that school or close to that area, or like a student of someone. It was like the way to push them up there. So it was weird to me that Jesse wasn't a part of that, but then was pushed, in there, because really, in some ways, like Gasper and some of the other ones, even the Ayamunos, at one point, weren't really, like, it was just out of left field. Like, they were like, this is the junior team. When they move up to adults, hey, they're on the team. So I don't know if they got consulted on that or not, on how that went. But that was just weird to me that it wasn't the same with Jesse as that.
I think with those ones, for the most part, those were forms competitors. So with
no.
Well,
none of those were forms. The first forms competitors that they picked up that were juniors was Casey, Jimmy, and Butch. Those were the first ones they ever picked up that were juniors. The Gasper was really good at flying commas, but he was more of a fighter. Okay. He did win an overall at Bluegrass and beat Jimmy Pham. And that was when Jimmy was on Metro and Gasper was JPM. But all of them were fighters. So, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
And then you also had Jason. I cannot think of his name right now. Jason. He was part of Cheech Leslie's school. He did the double oar form with Cheech. I can't think of his name. Jason. I don't know, but anyways, he's around there too. So, yeah. So, anyways,
you know what? But
just telling that whole story. It's just an interesting story, and listen to Travis's interview with Jotty to get more of that take. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
That tape is out there. Yeah, YouTube that one. Yeah, but I will tell you. So there's certain. This is tiny little things. All right. So watching the matchup. So since we're talking about Jesse, the matchup of Jesse Goldberg versus like a Robbie Lavoie. Okay.
Right.
Now you would think, stereotypically, Jesse Goldberg is not a good style fit against Robbie, even though he's got him by 6-7 inches. That's not, or maybe more, right? That's not a good style fit. Like a right side and front kicker that attacks going forward, you're going to get hit with a spin kick by Robbie. That's going to happen at least twice, okay? But the way Jesse would do it, he actually would put the whoop on Robbie, all right? And that's not saying Robbie did, because Robbie spin kicks everybody, but just he was really, really good at that. So the guy is a smart fighter. He can bring it to him. But what I love about it is maybe it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize guys with good talent that, hey, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't happen all the way all the time. It didn't happen all the way.
Yeah.
Not all of us can be Jeff Doss.
Stop with that. Why are you saying that?
Sorry, man.
Stop.
Hey, who's your competitor of the week?
Keep talking.
All right, I got something for you.
I'm just kidding.
So, all right, you got?
Keep talking. I'm thinking. All right. I'm going through my head.
Yeah. So, everybody hit us up, message us, let us know if this is something you want. I'm rocking some inside scoop swag now.
Oh.
I had a number of people hit me up over the weekend, like, "Hey, how do I get Inside Soup swag? Hey, you're gonna get me one of those T-shirts?" I was like, "We don't even have one of those T-shirts. I have a hoodie, all right? That's the extent of the swag." But people were wanting to get it. Hey, reach out, let us know you want some. We'll make it available. We'll figure it out for you. For the low price of $99.95, we'll get you a T-shirt.
We'll make it a yearly membership deal. Like one of those subscriptions. Subscribe, right?
You get one T-shirt a year.
Yeah.
No.
The scoop box.
What is it? What would do? But that's the thing is when you're buying merchandise, and Jeff, you know this from having a school. Yeah. You're just like, do I buy a bunch of this? Do I? What is it? What is someone gonna want? What would people want?
What do people want?
A hoodie? Is it a T-shirt?
Is a beanie? Do you want a beanie?
A hat? I don't know, man.
Do you want a wristband?
I don't wear hats. I don't wear hats like at all.
Yeah.
Of any kind. That does not happen, right? So
right.
I don't know. Maybe I might want to get some sweatpants, just some inside scoop sweat. I don't even know why. It's got my name on it.
I like the sweat shorts. That's my thing.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, the sweat shorts. Yeah. So
what would you want?
Yeah, I mean, T-shirt. I'm into like the rugby style shirts, or like the what do you call them? The raglan shirts, like those, like the baseball style, old school baseball style shirts. I like those. That's what I did for my school shirts this year, and I really liked them. That's pretty cool. Because I always, with a long sleeve shirt, I do this. I pull it up, and it ruins the sleeves. Doesn't ruin the sleeves when it's already there. You know what I mean? So I like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I actually like that idea. Because look, I doing that right now.
I know, right now. All of us do it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Okay. You're either onto something or you're on something.
Who knows? Depends on who you talk to. Anyways, so my competitor of the week, dude, like don't know who it is until I say the words right now. So let's go.
I'm going to tell you who your competitor. I'm going to tell you a competitor that I've wanted you to talk more about. I'm going to make your competitor of the week. Okay, you ready for this?
Do it.
Bear Loebe.
All right, cool.
I've wanted you to talk more about this guy for a while. So Jeff Doss's competitor of the week is Bear Loebe.
Sounds great. So Bear Loebe, another one of my great friends from Texas. Competed against him since I tried the NBL in like 1998. Bear Loebe, his original instructor was Wayne Wen, who, if you don't know, was the White Ninja in Sidekicks, in the movie Sidekicks. That did the form with the nunchucks. Dope. And so that guy taught everybody in Texas how to do nunchucks exactly that way. So Bear does that exact same form. All those guys. Chris Gallio knows how to do that exact same form. All those guys. So
that's pretty cool.
He runs the TKO league now. Bear, great creative performance competitor in the NBL, and then was always one of the cleanest guys, and really started excelling in Korean forms. So him and I have battled several times. In creative and stuff at events, but really we battle like he was one of my toughest Korean forms competitors of all time. Him and I tied, I think it was 2 years in a row at Super Grand. So on stage we tied. We went back and had to do it again. I beat him.
How do you guys tie that many times?
And then the next year we tied during the daytime to get to the finals. We tied for first place, and we just went to see who would go first or second. He beat me during the daytime, then he beat me in the finals. So him and I, go back and forth. I beat him for I beat him for my first overall grand at Super Grands. He beat me during the daytime for his. He's a year older than me. I was in his wedding, went to Vegas for his bachelor party. Just a good friend, but like, it's funny with our friendship because we're so competitive. Like, we're friends, but kind of like what you're saying. Like, we will like, just really go at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no holding
Isn't that
back.
the strangest thing?
Right. Yeah.
In this weird sport activity that we do,
right.
Our best friends, and it's worse for fighters. Your best friends, like you want to destroy them.
Right.
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 Like I like you, but like I'm so competitive with you on a day-to-day basis, and I'm like people when they train with me, like I crack jokes all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to whoop you because I think it's fun and funny.
Right. Right. And that's kind of the way it is with him and I. And we even had a competitive rivalry in forums and even as promoters. So, and when it came to, our businesses and everything. So it's just funny. It's just funny how it's been like that with him and I. It was good to see him this weekend. He married a good friend of ours from California who was another karate person that he met, same age as me, Heather. And so was just cool, just definitely a full-on karate family. And Bear Loebe's the man, and good friend of mine. And again, like I said, we'll always be rivals forever. It's always the way it is.
That's cool. You like that? You like what I did there with that?
That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one. And he's running the WKU for Texas now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got a couple of different areas.
Right. There's a lot going on in that state. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a quick. Should it stay? Should it go?
All right.
And it is martial arts related because we were talking and I said, we got to open this thing up. But I'm really curious about this.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about Juventex. Most of it hasn't been the best. Okay.
Correct.
So, do you know about sport data?
Yes, I've heard of the name.
I first found out about it because that's what the Irish Open uses. Okay.
Oh yeah.
They use that format. And while I thought it was better, I don't know all the details of it, but it looks really good. Right now, Juventex just has they just have a monopoly almost on competitions in America. It's not their fault. Nobody else is stepping up to the plate, so that we know. Right. But sport data, what I like about it, it does everything that we really want as customers.
Right.
So it allows you online registration. It allows everything to go to the computer there. The only thing it doesn't have is everything on the screen. Right. Which I actually think is better.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's on the screen, guess what everybody's doing? Staring at the screen. So when you're trying to go through all the details and you see, no, that's not my name. That's not my, people freak out.
Yeah, for no reason.
They freak out when there's something they don't need to really be freaked out about, right? It's just like when you go to the airport and you see flight departure times change.
Oh yeah.
You don't move. Don't move.
Right.
You just sit there and you
Here's a great one.
Here's
a great one. So this is only my girlfriend's kids second flight ever, right? So they're still new to
that kind of thing happened.
Yeah, and so they're we're ready to board. They say group 5, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And the teenage daughter, she's like, it still says group 4. You didn't hear that? No, it says group 4 on the screen. I'm like, yeah, but they just said over the microphone group 5. I'm not. They just didn't change it on the screen.
Exactly.
Just, you know what I mean?
Perfect analogy.
Yeah. And then I'm like, listen, see, they're on group 6 right now. They just announced it, but they just didn't update it on there. It's okay.
So yeah, it's helpful, but all you need is a scoreboard. So they have that set up. It's good. It figures out your matchup.
Yeah.
Since they have the registrations for those competitions, they're already closed, days before.
Yeah. Right.
The brackets are all set up.
All good because of a pre-registration, pre-registration only, and it works well. And And see, I don't know why.
But it only works well if you have a system in place to be able to operate that way.
Correct.
If you don't have all this stuff, then it won't work.
When they had the Pan-Ams, or I think it was in Cancun 2 years ago or a year ago, I heard that it crashed there or something happened there.
Which did?
And it wasn't. Sport
Data?
Yeah. Or it might have been the other, but I'm not sure.
The Juventus has crashed before too.
But But what I'm saying is that I'm thinking they didn't do a pre-registration only. So I think that's
a good point.
Yeah.
So and that's what I've liked is that they give you general times, like, okay, your competition, your fight, your match will start at 9:08, and because they know it's 2-minute rounds plus the break in between. As soon as that's done, they can, by using math, know generally this match is gonna start then. This match is gonna start then. Yeah. So if there's 40 people in the division, all right, they can't have all of those people standing ringside. In fact, they're not even allowed on the competition area.
Right.
So you have to figure that stuff out. So all this a long story longer. All right. The should it stay, should it go? I think another system like that, I think that should stay. That should stay. I've not had a lot of great things to say about Juventus. I'm not ready to say Juventus should go, even though I've said that in the past. All right, it's a scam. All right. Which I don't totally take back, but competition is good. It forces other people.
Agree.
It forces other people to step their game up. All right.
So
if you're the only restaurant in town, and you serve shitty pizza,
right?
Someone really wants pizza, they're gonna have to eat some shitty pizza,
right?
You know what I mean? But if you get a pizza place next door, no one's gonna eat your pizza.
Correct.
Now you got to step your game up when it comes to your pizza. You got to start putting pepperoni and jalapeno on your pizza because that's a great combination.
That is a great combination.
Right. There you go. So that's what I think.
Here's a new thing that just got announced.
Tell me.
So Carmichael and Chad Cannon's company called Censor Sports, they partnered, and I thought it was with two other companies. I thought one of them was Sports Data.
Okay.
And they are trying to do the censor, like tagging.
You've been talking about that.
Yeah. So they have that going on. It was three things. It's with True Score. And see, that's who I thought that company was. True Score was the one, but I guess Sports Data is it. I thought True Score was the company they used. But so Censor Sport, True Score, and Marvel are combining to
Did you say
launch.
Marvel?
Yes, they just announced that.
Like the comics?
Yes. So, and they're going to launch this at the Europa Games and do it at all the Europa Games this year. So we're gonna see what happens with all that. And
like Marvel.
Yeah.
Like Stan Lee.
I don't know all the details, but yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. Look up Carmichael's page, man.
Get the heck out of town. That's dope.
Yeah. So we'll see. They
I
also
want
have
Thor to make
show,
a guest appearance.
Thor. All right. Well, I mean, this has been an interesting episode.
I can't wait to see how
what happens this weekend.
Team Jeff versus Team Alex is
Yes, we're gonna win it all, baby.
Yeah, you got to, it's hard. There's a few of you guys.
Here's my problem. I don't know if any of my foreign people are going, so that may be an issue.
My guys are going.
I have Sammy. She's not going because she's still recovering.
I got Jackson and Reed.
Yeah, Jackson's. I don't know if Reed's going, but I know Jackson is.
Right.
Maybe Aiden is. I don't know. He should.
I got Mackenzie.
Yeah. So we will see. But again, just with the WKU thing, had a great time. All my students had a good time. Great competition. Compete nationals. Looked like a good event. This weekend, Irish Open. Anything else going on?
How about this? hey, any other snowboarders out there that can help me figure out how to turn toe side, that would be really helpful because basically I don't, and I just fall. So, yeah, that would be helpful because I like doing that rather than falling on my face.
On your face, yeah. Oh, man, that's fun.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.